Hello, Deborah. Okay, everyone, let me know if you can hear me. If it's all good, we'll put a 1 in the comments. Hey, Mandy. I know it's a little slow, lags a little bit, so I'm going to wait a minute. Hey, Carlos. Who else is going to jump on? Yeah, Deborah, Mandy, Carlos. I know it's running a little slow in this live here. Okay, good. You can hear me. Thank you, Carlos. All right. Wait for a few more people to jump on. Let's see what happens. No problem, Deborah. You don't have to comment. I'm not going to be looking at the comments that much myself. It usually distracts me, so I probably won't see much of the comments anyway. I just go off my notes, and I don't really, I can't do two things at once. Let's see, let's wait for a few more people to hop on. Hey, Troy, how's it going? Let's see here. About 3 minutes in, I'm going to go ahead and start. And anybody else who can pop on, they can catch the replay later. So a few more seconds. All right, hey Rosalind. Hey Maureen. I thought you'd be asleep. Hey Adam. Michael. All right. Let me go ahead and get started here. I got a lot to cover in a short time. I'm not going to be too long on here for you guys. Hey Keith, what's going on? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Isabella Thatcher, and I'm from South Carolina, and I've been on the online marketing space since 1996, if you could believe that. When I got out of the Navy, there were no jobs in my area available for my billing, which was accounting, so I began looking online for a job. Hey Sabrina. And there started my journey of starting and failing at work from home jobs. So I've always had the passion, after I couldn't find a job out of the Navy, I couldn't find a job, so I've always had a passion of working online, doing something online from home. And there began my journey. So I've been at this for a little while here now. More off than on, you know, hey James. So I've learned a few things along the way, and there's going to be a mastermind that I'm going to be attending on Thursday. It's a 4-hour mastermind, and I'm going to bring some golden nuggets back. It's Brendan Burchard and Tony Robbins and a few other people. Hey Ruth, Angeline, so a few other key speakers, and I'm going to be in a private Zoom with them. And so I'm going to bring some golden nuggets. I'm going to take a lot of notes and bring some golden nuggets for you out of that meeting. So out of all the online marketing companies out there, I've never seen a company actually work so hard for its affiliates as Heal does for you guys. You've got to know you've got a good thing going here. I've heard it through the grapevine also that it's only going to be better and better, so stay tuned. You don't want to go anywhere, stay in Heal. So anyway, so I've been talking about the book I've read many times over called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. So the past few couple lives I've done, last Tuesday and then last Saturday morning, I was talking about a couple of them. One of them was prayer, love, and persistence, and how they affect your business. If you missed any of them, I believe the videos are archived in the group under media. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If any, I don't know if you guys can go back and watch the replay of the videos from the Heal files, media files. Let me know in the comments that people can get the replays on those. So there you go, Edmund, building your list, exactly. So today I'm going to talk about the scroll Mastery of Emotions and why it's important to your business. So what is emotional mastery? It is the process of becoming aware of and learning to direct your emotional states, how you feel moment to moment, and using it to your advantage. It's especially important in business. So nature is a circle, of course. So the tides advance, tides recede. The summer comes, summer goes. Sun comes up, sun sets. The flowers bloom and flowers die. It all comes full circle, just as we are part of nature. We also have our ups and downs. And if you master these ups and downs, you will also be able to direct your mind to whatever you desire. Because the secret is, you're not only just a part of nature, you are in nature. In other words, you can control these tides of emotions. You're separate. Just like I don't believe anybody is depressed. You are not depression. You may feel depressed, but depression is not physically you. So when someone says, I'm depressed, I don't believe it. You just transport depression along with you willingly. So you must master these emotions in your business or it's doomed to fail. Let me tell you why. If you're transporting along with you gloom and darkness and pessimism, then the customers you come in contact with will reflect that doom and react with pessimism. They won't know why, but then they will feel something that's wrong and believe it's your product or service and then refuse you. On the other hand, if you bring joy and enthusiasm and brightness and laughter, they will also reflect the same enthusiasm. Laughter is contagious, right? You guys understanding what I'm putting down here? All right, so laughter, my friends, is the tool that will harvest your acres of diamonds. In other words, passionate laughter, upbeat emotions will trigger the same in the other person. So there's a statement that I read in the book. It says, weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions. Strong is he who forces his actions to control his thoughts. Let me say that again. You're welcome, Pamela. Let me say that again. Weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions. And strong is he who forces his actions to control his thoughts. In other words, if you feel depressed, you sing. If I feel sad, I will laugh. If I feel ill, I will double my labor. If I feel fear, I will still plunge ahead. If I feel inferior, I'll wear new garments. If I feel uncertain, I will raise my voice. And if I feel poverty, I will think of the wealth to come. If I feel incompetent, I will remember past successes. In other words, you're forcing your actions to dictate your feelings and not the other way around. You're programming yourself to be a certain way despite how you feel. So do not let your feelings tell you how to be that day. You tell your feelings to take a hike and become what you want to become that day. Like if you need to be available for a live, you tell your feelings, look, I can't feel sad and depressed right now. I have to do a live. It's part of my business. It takes me forward. So you have to put that feeling aside and put on music or something to feel yourself upbeat in order to do your live. So also on the flip side, there are also other emotions that can destroy you if you let it. In other words, if you become overconfident, like if I become overconfident, that's never a good thing. So here are a couple of things you can do. If you become overconfident, for example, I will recall my failures. If I overindulge, I will think of past hungers. If I feel complacency, I will remember my competition. If I enjoy moments of greatness, think too highly of myself, I will remember moments of shame. If I feel all powerful, I will try to stop the wind. If I attain great wealth, I will remember one unfed mouth. Hey Jamie, hey Myra. And if I become overly proud, I will remember moments of weakness. If I feel my skill is unmatched, I will look at the stars. In other words, don't think too highly of yourself that you lose focus on what you need to do, especially in your business. Remember the tortoise and the hare? He became overly confident of himself and lost that race. So by controlling your emotions also comes with recognizing the moods of others. If you run across someone snapping at everyone, clearly he's having a bad day. It does you no good to get angry and snap back and never speak to that person again. That person obviously does not know how to control his emotions. So how do you stop reacting emotionally? I'm going to try to go slow here so that if anybody of you guys are writing and taking notes, I tend to talk a little fast, so I'm going to try to slow this part down because these are some golden nuggets that you might want to write down. So how do you stop reacting emotionally? By preparing yourself ahead of time, you'll find that the problematic emotion goes away before it even interferes with your life. For example, let's see. 1, you select the situation. In other words, you avoid circumstances that trigger unwanted emotions. If you know that you're most likely to get angry when you're in a hurry, and you become angry when others force you to wait, then don't leave things for the last minute. Get out of the house or office 10 minutes before you need to, and you won't be bothered so much by pedestrians, cars, or slow elevators. Similarly, if there's an acquaintance you find completely annoying, then figure out a way to keep from bumping into that person. So you select the situations. This is how you avoid the emotional outbursts. Yeah, I love the tortoise and hare story, Keith. So you modify the situation is number 2. Perhaps the emotion you're trying to reduce is disappointment. Okay, so you're always hoping, for example, to serve the perfect meal for friends and family, but invariably something goes wrong because you aimed too high. Okay, so you modify the situation by finding recipes that are within your range of ability so that you can pull off the meal. In other words, you may not be able to construct the ideal souffle, but you may manage a pretty good frittata. So 3, shift your attentional focus. If anybody is writing these down, number 1 is you select the situation. Number 2 is modify the situation. And number 3 is shift your attentional focus. So let's say you constantly feel inferior to the people around you who always looks great. Okay, you're at the gym and you can't help but notice that the regulars at on the weight machines who manage to lift 3 times as much as you can. Drawn to them like a magnet, and you can't help but watch with wonder and envy about what they're able to accomplish. By shifting your focus away from them and onto your fellow gym rats who pack less punch will help you feel more confident about your own abilities. Even better, focus on what you're doing, and in the process, you'll eventually gain some of the strength that you desire. If anybody can relate, put a 2 in the comments. Number 4, change your thoughts. At the core of our deepest emotions are the beliefs that drive them. You feel sad when you believe you've lost something, anger when you decide that an important goal is thwarted, and happy anticipation when you believe something good is coming your way. By changing your thoughts, you may not be able to change the situation, but you can at least change the way you believe the situation is affecting you. In cognitive reappraisal, you replace the thoughts that lead to unhappiness with thoughts that lead to instead joy or at least contentment. Like if that unpleasant situation is coming, and make peace with it. So people with social anxiety disorder may believe that they'll make fools of themselves in front of others or social gatherings. They can be helped to relax by interventions that help them recognize that people don't always judge them harshly as they believe. So it's like, yeah, thank you guys. All right, so it's like when you're anticipating something that's not even really true for the social anxiety people. Because I know I used to be in that situation. I used to avoid crowds like the plague. So number 5 is change your response. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that feedback. Change your response. If all else fails and you can't avoid, modify, or shift your focus or change your thoughts, and that emotion comes pouring out, the final step in emotional regulation is to get control of your response. Your heart may be beating at a steady drum roll of unpleasant sensations, and you're made to be anxious or angry. You need to take deep breaths and perhaps close your eyes in order to calm yourself. Similarly, if you can't stop laughing when someone else seems serious or sad, gather your inner resources and force yourself at least to change your facial expression, if not your mood. So those are the 5 different steps. And if anybody, let's see here, if anybody didn't get those, let me go ahead and say them again. 1 was select the situation. 2 was modify the situation. 3 was shift your attentional focus. 4 was change your thoughts. And 5 was change your response if all else fails. Okay, so next, you need to no longer judge a person on the first meeting. Put a 3 in the comments if this is all making sense to you guys. If I'm going too fast, let me know. Okay, so in the book, it says, no longer will I judge a man on one meeting. No longer will I fail to call again tomorrow he who meets me with hate today. This day he will not buy gold chariots for a penny, yet tomorrow he will exchange his home for a tree. In other words, just because he snapped at you today does not mean he won't buy tomorrow. For example, just because your leads don't buy from you from the first email does not mean they won't buy at the 50th email or the 100th email. Thank you guys for those 3s coming in. All right, so you guys are understanding what I'm putting down. Thanks, guys. All right, so remember, you have to be patient with people, but also always be in the front of their minds with the follow-ups, so that when they're ready to buy, they will think of you. This is having the emotional disattachment to the first sale and all those traffic that you're sending to your business. You want to detach yourself from getting the sales off the first 100 clicks that you buy. You don't want to attach yourself to that, because those clicks will come later. People will have to see the email, see your ad a couple of times before they actually decide to buy. That's how it works. So you have to take your emotional mastery and detach yourself away from that. And that's part of the control of mastery. So another part of control of your mastery, take control of your mastery, is say affirmations, meditate, or pray every morning before the feeling sets in, before the negative talk sets in. And this is how you will change your mind for success. You have to get in front and beat your emotions to the punch with the affirmations before you go to bed each night and after you wake each morning. Set a schedule, set an alarm, and within that few minutes, 10-15 minutes to start with. You don't have to put a whole lot of time in it, but then as you get going and you realize that it's going to set yourself for success for the rest of the day, you'll be able to do a little bit more. So you put into your subconscious mind what you want to feel and what you want to have. And your subconscious mind actually will go to work for you all day long and while you sleep. If you don't put these positive affirmations in your mind, your subconscious is still going to go to work for you, but it's just going to go the other way. It's going to go back to the negative. It always falls back to the negative because that's the easiest. So you have to force your subconscious, forced into your subconscious mind what you want to have in your life for the future. Exactly. Changing your story in your head from negative thoughts. Thank you, Carolyn. Exactly. So here is How to Master Your Emotions in These 6 Ways by Tony Robbins. This is what Tony Robbins says. Number 1, you identify what you're really feeling. The first step in learning how to master your emotions is identifying what your feelings are. To take that step toward emotional mastery, you ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? Am I really feeling anger, hurt, or frustration, or is it something else? 2, acknowledge and appreciate your emotions, knowing that they support you. Emotional mastery does not mean shutting down or denying your feelings. Instead, learning how to master your emotions means appreciating them as a part of yourself. You never want to make your emotions wrong. The idea that anything you feel is wrong is a great way to destroy honest communication with yourself as well as with others. 3, get curious about the message this emotion is offering you. Emotional mastery means approaching your feelings with a sense of curiosity. Your feelings will teach you a lot about yourself if you let them. Getting curious helps you interrupt your current emotional pattern. It solves the challenge and prevents the same problem from occurring in the future. So you ask yourself, what are some of the factors that may be contributing to this emotion? Are there multiple little things that may have built up throughout the day? Are you tired or stressed? So 4, get confident. The quickest and most powerful route to emotional mastery over any feeling is to remember a time when you felt similar emotion and you handled it successfully. Since you've managed the emotion in the past, surely you can handle it today. For example, if you were angry at someone, what did you do the last time you were angry at this person? Did you walk away? Did you solve it peacefully? Okay, 5. Get certain you can handle this not only today, but in the future as well. To master your emotions, build confidence by rehearsing handling situations where this emotion might come up in the future. You see, hear, and feel yourself handling the situation. This is the equivalent of lifting emotional weights, so to speak. So you build that muscle you need to handle your feelings successfully. Practicing visualization is a faster way to get a handle on your emotions. Like if you meet that person that you always blow up at, or you have a negative feeling towards, imagine yourself liking the person or even loving the person. It's maybe hard at first, but if you pretend that you actually love this person, then you will see them in a different light, and it'll make your like if you work with them, so to speak, it'll help you get through the day with working with them. So it's kind of something like that. So 6, get excited and take action. So now that you've learned how to master your emotions, it's time to get excited about the fact that you can A, easily handle this emotion. Take some action right away, like talking to someone about it, or listening to uplifting music, or going for a walk. Hey, Stephen, how are you? And B, prove that you've handled it. So learning emotional mastery is one of the most powerful steps you can take to create a life that's authentic and fulfilling. So from the moment you wake each morning, you need to get a jump start in mastering these emotions with healthy choices and positive action, like taking exercise and positive affirmations. Okay, so you'll be in control of your destiny, and much more abundance will be attracted to you. Once you've decided that you're going to take control of your emotional mastery, once you've decided in that moment and you stick to your guns with it, something switches in your brain and says, okay, and then the universe will move out of your way, and it'll start becoming easier, but you have to do it more often. So become a master of yourself to become your greatest self. So a great resource is a book called Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. In it, he gives you more practical steps to master your emotions for business and life in general. Another resource is right there in your back office. In your members area, there is the silver package. okay? And it's all about mastering yourself and your emotions, getting them under control. Also the bulletproof, the mindset. Getting them under control will push your business to soar. Your acres of diamonds are waiting for you. Start today. Get bulletproof, get silver, go elite. Taking that step shifts your mental capacity, and it actually shifts you into emotional mastery. It pushes you to be your better self. So take action today. Your future depends on it. So what time is it? It's time to heal. Every second, every minute, every hour, and every day. It's on you. Thank you everybody for coming and listening, and good night and God bless.